We Are Resilient at its core is a school climate initiative. The term We Are Resilient sends a message to the students, the adults on the campus, that how people feel when they show up there is a function of all that the individuals do. PBIS is great. Historically, when implementing social emotional learning programs, a well-established working PBIS team does a tremendous amount for the students. What I've found when partnering with schools is that the missing piece is really about adult development, because unlike other curriculum, we're not giving social emotional skills to the child, we're inspiring and modeling them. And I've found that as the teachers think about the work, we need to make a distinction between that as a curriculum that we're giving or handing down to the children for them to do versus a way of being within the classroom in that tier one sort of universal application. Specifically, what we're inviting is a transition from more of a behavioristic approach to compliance and school climate around externalized behaviors to more of a humanistic approach to partnering relationally with a child to help explain and understand the why behind those behaviors.
Classically, behavioral approach involves discipline, different types of behavior management. An extreme example is using expulsion or suspension or detention kinds of things. That's classical behavioral management. And a humanistic approach allows the whole team that's working with the child to consider what the child's needs are and how to meet those deeper needs. A child who's misbehaving in a class may not feel like they're belonging. They may have some shame attached to education, and so there's a deeper piece that might be done with a counselor to help that child not get into their shame, but be connected to their learning.
As we understand more about ACEs and adverse childhood experiences, we're starting to understand that a dimension of the externalized behaviors that are problematic in a classroom are actually a function of trauma. But if we're starting to understand the why more fully, we need to heal and repair. And the role of an educator in that resilience theory is those caring, nurturing, buffering relationships. And that should be the primary goal of the teacher-student relationship. But when it's done well, there's clarity amongst the staff. There's agreements about the various practices, both at a school-wide level and a classroom level. And we like to say that's the experiential thread for the students themselves. So when it's done universally, all the adults on campus have an understanding of the common language or practices that the students are experiencing as agreed upon by the adults in that community. By shifting the language pattern and starting with the adults for them to say, we are safe, we are respectful. That begins the progression into the child's domain of saying we're here in partnership, we do this together, and that the students start to understand that every action that they take is actually the thing that makes the whole collective sense feel safe or respectful. So even shifting that language takes us a step in the direction that PBIS is intended to achieve.